Hello and welcome. This is the Midday News. Prime Minister James Marape, on behalf of Pacific Island nations, asked the Japanese government to consider assisting the small island states affected by climate change and water-related issues through advanced technology initiatives. At the meeting attended by 18 Pacific Islands Forum member countries and Japan, Prime Minister Marape acknowledged Japan as the third biggest economy in the world and thanked Prime Minister Kishida and past leaders for their partnership with Papua New Guinea in delivering many development projects and for their continuous support towards small Pacific Island states in various ways. He proposed to the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to assist Pacific Island nations through technological processes in the desalination of water to enable clean drinking water for people and for use in sustenance of life, including agricultural activities. He also proposed for Japanese assistance in terms of utilizing cleaner energy, options for use in residential homes and communities, as well as for business operational activities. Prime Minister James Marape returned home today from his Indonesia and Japan trips, where he had fruitful discussions with the heads of these countries. In Jakarta, Indonesia, the Prime Minister expanded his discussions beyond just border security and negotiated and extending to business investment, education and health. In Tokyo, Japan, Marape attended the 10th Pacific Island Leaders Meeting, PALM 10, where he spoke on behalf of the smaller islands of the Pacific, strongly advocating for Japan's intervention in assisting in downstream processing of the region's marine resource. Doctors and nurses of Modilon General Hospital have welcomed caretaker Chief Executive Officer of the Madang Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Semi Thomas. Tuesday's heavy downpour did not dampen spirits as Provincial Administrator Frank Lau presented Dr. Thomas to those he will be working with. The new caretaker CEO urged staff to return to duty. The Corporate Service Director of the National Capital District Provincial Health Authority was arrested and charged at 7 p.m. last night for allegedly misappropriating 1 million kina belonging to the independent state of Papua New Guinea. Priscilla Ken was apprehended by police on Thursday and interrogated for allegedly misappropriating almost 1.9 million kina. Priscilla and her cohorts fraudulently received an excessive amount of pay that was added to their normal pay salary on Pay 13, 2023. A further search into their mobile numbers exposed a syndicate that has existed amongst the staff of NCDPHA, Department of Personnel Management, and Finance Department's IT division to facilitate unauthorized overtime and gratuity allowance, and then benefiting from these payments once the payments are made to the individual's account. She was charged for 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of abuse of office, and 1 count of misappropriation under the Criminal Code Act. 50,000 jobs were added to the economy last month, but it wasn't enough to stop the unemployment rate climbing higher, a number the Reserve Bank is watching closely ahead of its next meeting on interest rates.
There's a growing sense of unease among Australia's workforce.
If masses of people get laid off, all of a sudden getting jobs is going to be a lot harder.
Business owners are saving costs where they can.
Something had to give, unfortunately, and it was the staff that had to let go.
And it's not just small operations slashing staff.
The jobs of thousands of BHP employees across the state are in limbo.
West Australian mining company Fortescue will axe about 700 jobs.
The unemployment rate edged higher in June to 4.1%. That's despite more than 50,000 jobs being created and nearly 10,000 workers joining the jobless queue. Westpac's economics team hasn't ruled out more layoffs.
Responses around the labour market have softened over the last few months, so we may be coming into a bit more of an unsettled period for the labour market more generally.
For those out of work, it's getting harder to find a job. Fewer roles are being advertised and more people are applying for them.
There is a lot of interest in candidates looking for other opportunities. One of the main drivers for that is actually people wanting to find roles that pay better to try and respond to the cost of living crisis.
The big question, of course, is whether this latest jobs reading will determine the Reserve Bank's next interest rate decision. Most economists don't think it will. The June quarter inflation data, due just days before its August meeting, will have a much bigger sway. If it comes in higher than expected, a 14th rate hike isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Sydney's tallest structure could be sharing its title with another building. The City of Sydney Council received a proposal for 2 adjacent skyscrapers at the northern end of the CBD. If they are built, the office blocks they'll be up there with Sydney Tower at more than 300 metres high.
Skyline could soon be taken to new heights, with 2 new proposed buildings for the city's CBD slated to go more than 300 metres high. Lend-Lease says its proposal for a 72-storey building, which will be able to accommodate 9,000 workers, will help transform the city.
We are very, very keen to remove any of the red tape and bureaucracy that stands in the way of Sydney progressing. And a big measure of that progress is big buildings being built in the middle of the city.
So the red tape for many years has been the height limit in the city.
Sydney Tower is the tallest structure in the city, standing at 309 metres. If these new buildings are approved, one will be the same height and the other will be just 4 metres shorter.
Cities are an expression of the aspirations of people. They are the built embodiment of society, and height has always been an expression of aspiration, confidence and indeed power in cities.
The towers would be used as offices at a time when recent data shows persistently high office vacancy rates in the city centre.
CBRE data from March showed that there's been an uptick in recent months in terms of the availability of office space. We're seeing rental vacancies start to come down, but it's been fairly stable over time. We're still not seeing office market rates coming back to their levels that they were at pre-pandemic, which reflects people still continuing to work from home.
The plans for the proposed buildings will be discussed at a council meeting next week.
In sports, a positive news for the country. Papua New Guinea has been given green light to host a NRL club in a new look competition as early as 2027. The announcement is expected to be made public in August. Australian media News Corp reported yesterday that PNG ministers were briefed about the bid on Wednesday night before kickoff, the State of Origin decider. The report further states that the successful application has been discussed by Prime Ministers Anthony Albanese and James Marape over the last few weeks. Papua New Guinea Rugby League Chairman Wapu Sonk and Chief Executive Officer Andrew Hill shared the news, which is sure to shake up the competition as it heads towards a 20-team platform. The target season is set for 2028, but stakeholders at PNG suggest a 2027 entry should not be ruled out. The NRL will have the final say on when the side makes its maiden season appearance. And before we go, we bring you some exciting updates from our TVWan team up in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province. Our senior sports reporter, Terry Lonbut, will be providing updates on the PNG NRL Bid Academy tournament. Terry is joined by the PNG NRL Bid CEO, Andrew Hill. Over to you, Terry.
Thank you, Maricela. Yes, I'm here at the National Sports Institute, Apo Country, Goroka, for this weekend's PNG NRL Bid Schools Championship for the under-19 boys and the under-18 girls. The weather conditions has been fantastic since the crew arrived here yesterday. A bit of a cloud cover earlier on, but it's clearing up now, as you can see. All the teams are on the ground now. All the 6 academies with teams already arriving in Goroka over the last last couple of days, and a bit of a challenge also for the NGI team. We had to travel by boat, by land and air as well to get to Mossy, but they're all good to go now. I'm very privileged to join me today is PNG NRL bid CEO Andrew Hill. Hey, welcome back, Andrew.
Terry, good to see you again, mate.
Yeah, not the first time in Goroka, I understand.
No, the Goroka show, I think in 2017, it was a bit more of a crowd there than what it is now, but wonderful to be back in.
Yeah, and definitely there's been a transformation over the last decade, I guess, with the place really looking in good nick. Yeah,
absolutely. I want to thank the Governor and I want to thank the people of Goroka for looking after the NSI precinct, because it's really important that we showcase facilities and for our players to play not just in the major centres and NFS or Santos Stadium, but to bring this championship here is all part of the experience.
Yeah, definitely, Andrew. Now 16 weeks of hard work, but I believe this one goes way back to 2023 when you had that pilot program, and now here we are. It's all coming together. How are you looking forward to this weekend's championship?
Well, I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. Little Joey Grimer, who heads up our academy, he's a little more nervous than I am. But if we step back 12 months ago, we started the program. It was identifying how best to manage 720 young players to be part of an NRL-style academy. Never been done before. And so am I excited? Of course I am. I'm standing here on the eve of the first ever National Schools NRL program. And we're going to look back at this, Terry. We'll look back at this in a couple of years and say this is perhaps where the NRL club started. This is the journey today, tomorrow, that these young boys and girls are playing for us. So it's a much bigger opportunity than just a couple of kids playing footy. This is the start of our club.
Yes, it's a launching pad, if you like, and I believe over the last 16 weeks, as you mentioned, a lot of work has been done by the little fella there, Joey Grimer, and also working with all the 6 academies. So what are you expecting from these young kids when they come out this weekend?
Well, look, I think they're all going to be nervous. A number of players haven't been on a plane before, Terry. And so through rugby league and through our sport, we're able to bring people away from their village, away from their province. So even the first thing, just realising what a big occasion it is. So there'll be some nerves. I'm sure there'll be a few drop balls early on. But I think what we will see is the potential. And when people back in Australia and other NRL clubs say, what do you think? It's an immediate answer. There are Elsie Albert and Justin Ollams here in PNG. They need to be given the opportunity. And what I want to thank the PNG government, the Australian government and all of our support, our media partners, Sport 3, because we're showcasing that. We're giving a platform to unearth the next generation of NRL players here in PNG. That's what excites me.
And I think this is a significant moment also for these young boys and girls to be pioneers driving this new program forward, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've got a responsibility. We need this to be successful. We need the boys and girls to play their best football to showcase. And so next year we go from 6 academies to hopefully double. And we play more tournaments. But let's just stop. This has been a wonderful opportunity to bring the first ever group together, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play over the next 2 days.
Well, there you have it. PNG NRL bid CEO Andrew Hill was able to find some time from his busy schedule here in Goroka to have a chat with us today. But yes, we all said the grounds are really looking unique and spick and span, if you like. But yeah, we have the groundsmen all doing all the paintings and everything. So we all set to rock and roll this weekend when the games kick off as early as 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we'll run until Sunday, culminating with the finals, where we also see the crowning of the best boys team and the best girls team as well out of the 2 days of championship. So we are looking forward to that, and I'm sure you too, you're looking forward to all the action coming to live only on DDSL TV Sports 3. So make sure you subscribe now and watch all the action live. That's it, Mary, for now. We'll be back with another update for you around about 6 o'clock during our main news. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Terry. Viewers, you've heard it yourself. Over the next 2 days, TV1 will be bringing you updates from the PNG NRL Bid Academy tournament. Follow TV1 online on Facebook and YouTube for highlights. And if you're watching digital TV on your phones or on your home television, the tournament will be broadcasted on TV1 Sports 3. And that ends the Midday Bulletin. I'm Mary Silla Kelleton. Join us at 6 this evening for the main news.